Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tabletop Studio. I am your man out of Japan, Jay Contra, and as you can see from the N64 controllers, the N64 games, and a few Super Famicom games over here, I have a bunch of stuff that I have listed now on eBay at Buy It Now that you can purchase right at this very moment. I want to go over each of these items, go over the listings. I've even got some things off camera that I want to show you, but I'm going to tell you the prices on these things that I'm trying to get rid of, and I'm hoping these things can find a good home. Let's start off with the games. So I am listing a bundle of 3 Super Famicom games, some really good games. We have here the original Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. I will say that I think Star Fox 64 is the better game, but Star Fox is actually, I think, still very playable. And actually a pretty short game. I think you can beat this in like an hour or two, depending on how good you are at it. So Star Fox, you also get Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem, the first Fire Emblem game to come out for the Super Famicom. It is basically a remake of the first Fire Emblem game that came out for the Famicom, as well as a second chapter that is a whole new game. Very fun, like to play it. Also came out on the Nintendo DS in Japan, I believe. And then the third game in the bundle is Street Fighter II Turbo. What I would say is the best version of Street Fighter II, just because it is the fastest, although New Challengers does introduce some good characters. Altogether, I was hoping to sell these for about $29, and again, you can buy that right now. And if I also didn't mention it before, I am shipping all of these from within the United States, so you will get these actually quite quickly, as opposed to if you were buying these from sellers based in Japan. Next, we have a bundle of Super Famicom games that includes Street Fighter II Turbo, again, Star Fox. Again, I don't know why I have like 4 copies of these games. But what makes this bundle special is Trials of Mana, Seiken Densetsu 3, the sequel to Secret of Mana that we never got in the United States until 2019, 2020, whatever. This is the original Super Famicom release. I actually prefer this release because I think the graphics are better. I think the music is better. I think this is the original is the definitive version of Seiken Densetsu 3. Altogether, these 3 games, so you got your RPG, you've got your shooter, and you've got your 2D fighting game altogether, $25 for these games. And not only do they ship from within the United States, but these also include shipping. You do not pay shipping. I will be paying the shipping on these things. So these 3 games can be yours for $25. Next, you can probably guess what is going to be here, but we have The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the Japanese version. I actually don't know if this is like the first edition that doesn't have the things that got patched out in later revisions. I don't know. I don't know if you can tell up close. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know. But you get Ocarina of Time. You get Mario Story, also known as Paper Mario. Probably, I mean, one of the better RPGs, one of the few RPGs on the Nintendo 64. And you get the Japanese version of Shadows of the Empire, which plays just as well as the English version. I'm still in love with Shadows of the Empire. I don't know how they got it to go so well on the N64, but you can get these 3 games all together for $41, mostly because Paper Mario is pretty expensive, even in Japanese, and Ocarina of Time has actually really held its value over the last few years. So these 3 games for $41. Next, we have a few interesting games here. Yoshi's Story, which I think gets a little crap because it's sort of maybe too cutesy. I love Yoshi's Story. I think it's a great game. I think it was, when I was a kid, I got 2 games when I first got the N64. They were Ocarina of Time and they were Yoshi's Story. I think it still holds up. I think it's still a very good game. We've got another copy of Mario Story. Again, I'm not sure why I have 3 copies of this game, but that's why I'm trying to get rid of it. And then we also have, very difficult to find, I could barely find this on American eBay, but it is Mahjong Do 64, Mahjong Simulation. If you need a Mahjong game, it's a little hard to find outside of Japan, but These 3 games altogether are going for $33. Buy it now on my eBay page. These games are some of the later releases in the N64's life cycle, lifespan, whatever you want to say. We've got Kirby 64, very good game. I think, didn't someone just recently discover a cheat code on this where you can get a full clear of the game by doing some weird cartridge save file shenanigans with a weird button input? I think it reduced the world record by a few seconds, something important like that. So this was a late release game, and then so was Pokemon Stadium 2. Now this is technically the 3rd Pokemon Stadium game to come out in Japan, because the first Pokemon Stadium game didn't have all of the Pokemon on it. Pokemon Stadium 2 actually ended up having all the Pokemon on it. And then we get Pokemon Stadium Gold, Silver, and Crystal version. This one, I think, has the best mini games on the system. I would actually rather play Pokemon Stadium than I would, the 3 Mario parties that came out on the N64. Rather play the mini games in this. And then we also have, I believe this is the original Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, Ganbare Goemon, Neo, Yama, Bakufu, no Odori. Really good game. Had a lot of fun with this. I think you need a controller pack in order to save games with this, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So you get these 3 great N64 games for $27. Actually, yeah, a lot of these, Kirby 64 and Pokemon Stadium in Japan, pretty cheap games. So altogether, $27. Buy it now for these 3 games. And lastly, for the N64 games, so the voice cracked a little bit there, we get Mario Kart 64, highly sought after. People really want to play Mario Kart. Actually, I think all of these are, I did the racing bundle. Yes. So we've got here Top Gear Rally 2 by Kemco. These 2 games were impossible for me to find in Japan. I had to go, I've got doubles of these for some reason, and I just had a hard time finding these games. We've also got V-Rally by Spike. Before they became Spike Chunsoft, we've got V-Rally Edition 99. These 2 games, trying to get a complete Japanese NTSC collection was very difficult, mostly because of these 2 games and a couple of other games that were hard to find. But altogether, these 3 racing games are going for, let me read my Excel sheet over here. These are going for $33, including shipping. All of these can be yours for $33. Now you'll see here these 4 N64 controllers. These 3 here are actually Japanese, but it doesn't matter. N64 controllers aren't region locked. They have the same endings, of course. But here we've got one of my extra see-through grape N64 controllers. The sticks on all of these work. I should mention that all these games have been tested and are working perfectly. This controller, the classic purple N64 controller, this is the one that I bought in America, but I have 2 of them, so I don't need this one anymore. And it has my favorite electronics design philosophy, which is I want to see the inside. I don't want technology to be scary. I want to be able to see what's inside the controller. And it pulled it off flawlessly. Great coloring on this. Really love it. Then what is really interesting about Japanese N64 controllers, you might see it already, is that they sold them in color combinations. So we've got the green one here, which is oh, you think it's a regular green N64 controller? Actually, it's a green and gray. There's the stick, works great. Then this gray one, no, it's gray and red. Good color combination there. I'm not so sure about the green and the gray one, but I love this gray and red. And then we've got the black and gray here. See some little, it's got a few scratches on here, but works perfectly fine. And each of these controllers is $27. I've noticed that N64 controllers have gotten really expensive recently, and especially for these genuine, authentic OEM, whatever the eBay tags are. These all are the original N64 controllers. The last thing I want to show you, perhaps the more interesting things I want to show you, are my slim Japanese PlayStation 2s that I would like to get rid of. These are the Sony, the SCPH 70,000s. These are the Japanese PS2 Slims, which apparently have shot up in value. I have 2 that I'm looking to get rid of. I have tested them with PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, and they work perfectly fine. Let me show you the controllers here. Here's the controller for this one. Yep, analog sticks are good. I think this one, a little bit of cosmetic damage on the power bricks. Also, what's great about the PS2 Slim is that the power bricks are from 100 to 240 volts. So these will work in America, in Japan, in the UK, in continental Europe, as long as you have the right plug adapter, but you don't need to worry about any voltage adapters on these things because they are multi-voltage. And I should note that these include, each of these are separate listings for two separate PS2 Slims. They both include the AV cables and the power cords and a controller along with the base console, of course. So that's that one over there. And then let me show you this other one over here. Again, great controller, the console itself. This is another 70,000. It seems like the 70,000 seems to be the most common Slim PS2 that you'll find in Japan. And I've also tested this one, and then let me show you the power brick real quick. So no need for voltage adapters with this. All you need to do is plug this into the wall and you are fine. And then if you have your own PS2 Slim adapter, I believe they'll work with any region. So there you go. This is all of the stuff that I'm selling. Oh, these are selling for, I want to say like $125. Yeah, $125 each for these two PlayStation 2 Slims. So there you go. We've got Japanese N64 games. We've got N64 controllers, some Super Famicom games over here. All of these are up on my eBay page right now. Buy it now. Go over to the page, check out what you want, and then with one click, I will ship these to you. I'm pretty good about sending these the day after they get bought. So you will get these much more quickly than you would if you were buying from Japanese sellers because I'm shipping them from within the United States. I ship pretty quickly, and I've got some really good stuff that I'm hoping that the folks watching this actually want. I've been your man out of Japan, Jay Contra. I'll have individual links to all of these listings in the description of this video. Hope you find something you want. Thanks for watching, and mahalo.